is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another quick video. Today we're going to talk about the Miami Heat, the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. A team that a lot of people didn't know there's going to be good, if there's going to be a borderline playoff team. Some people even felt like they wasn't going to make it to the playoffs, and here they are playing great, consistent, team-friendly basketball. You have a lot of guys playing out of character. You have a lot of guys stepping up, and you have some amazing rookies showing that they better than what people thought, or just impressing everybody with how good they have been and how consistent that they have been from the summer all the way to the beginning of this season. So I personally think that the Miami Heat were basically flew under the radar because we really didn't know how good Hero was going to be, and we really didn't know how good Kendrick Nunn was going to be. And Jimmy Butler hasn't even shot the ball that well. He's under 30% from three and under 45% from the field, but he's still having a massive impact on his team because he plays great defense, but he's also having a career high year in passing with 7 assists a game, and he's rebounding the ball a lot better. It seems like Jimmy Butler is just becoming the ultimate hub. He knows when to make the pass. He knows where his teammates is going to be. But not only that, he's just more unselfish. Coming into this season, I thought that Jimmy Butler needed to be more selfish because I didn't really think they had a guy that they can really count on to get them buckets outside of Goran Dragic and Jimmy Butler, especially since Dion Waiters was injured at the time, and now he got suspended for a couple games. And that's a different story for another day. But you look at Tyler Hero, the guy has been blazing teams, being able to come off that bench and just knock down shots from 30, from 3, from mid range. He really has shown that he has a great shooting stroke, and he has all the confidence in the world. And Eric Spoelstra is allowing him to be himself. He's allowing Tyler Hero to do him, and he's getting the best out of him by doing that. He's a shooter, but he's also showing that he can get his shot off a little bit quicker than what people thought off the dribble. And I think he's been showing that all year, and it has translated so far in the NBA. And I think that's a positive thing when you can get a guy from where they got him and really have him on a cheap contract, but a guy that wants to get better and a guy that wants to continue to develop, and has already been impressive this season as one of the top 7 rookies in his class. You really got to give Hero in the Heat a lot of credit for giving him the opportunity, taking a gamble on him, and putting him in a situation where he can be himself and be successful. Then you look at Kendrick Nunn. This is a guy that everybody's talking about, but nobody thought that Nunn would be a productive player. Nobody thought that he'd be a productive starter. Yeah, you knew he got a game. Yeah, you knew he could play, but nobody knew that he can play like this and have the type of impact that he's having. I had him number 1 on my big board for Rookie of the Year just last month, and he's still in the top 5 this month, especially when you count the first month. And that's what it's about, Rookie of the Years for the whole year. And Kendrick Nunn has had one of the best rookie years so far, and nobody really seen it coming outside of the Miami Heat and their players that practice against them. But it's one thing to practice it, it's another thing to do it inside games, and he has been able to do both, even playing well in the preseason. So I'm liking me some Kendrick Nunn. I'm liking me some Tyler Hero. And I'm loving Goran Dragic right now. Dragic is a guy that a lot of people thought possibly was done. We didn't really know how healthy he was going to be because he was battling a lot of injuries, and he really couldn't have the impact that he really wanted on the game. And now he's giving you 15 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds, which is quality numbers for a guy that came off an injury and just a terrible season last year for his standards. I'm not surprised that he approached the season the way that he did, but I also didn't really see him giving you the type of production that he has so far, shooting great, actually fantastic from three, but also still getting to the paint, still knocking down mid-range jumpers off the dribble, but still keeping his teammates involved. He has a slight less role this year, but at the end of the day, when you give him 15.8 points, 46 from the field, 41 from three, but also only playing 28 minutes, and the fact that you didn't start none of them out of the 12 games you played, you had 0 starts, and you have been able to be consistent coming off the bench and getting a quality of 11 shots a game and 5.8 threes, but shooting it efficiently, actually a little above average, especially from the three-point line. Dragic has had a resurgence, and he looks very good, and he's showing that he can do whatever he wants, but he also willing to sacrifice and do less for the benefit of the team. And that's why they're one of the best teams in the NBA, is because everybody's on the same page. Everybody understands their role. Everybody's just playing along with each other and getting along with each other and doing whatever it takes to win. You don't become 10-3 without having chemistry, without having balance, and without having guys that know what they're on the court to do and isn't trying to do too much more than that unless they have put in a situation where they have to. Like I say, even Jimmy Butler is playing team basketball. He's not ball hogging. He's not doing anything crazy offensively. He's just taking smart shots. Some of the shots he take are a little contested, but I think those shots will start falling because he is a tough shot maker. But he's not relying on his offense to carry him. He's relying on his teammates, and I think that just as important as being dominant, being a 20-25 point scorer. But so far, Jimmy Butler is averaging 20 points in November, so his numbers are going up. I just want to see him knock down more shots more efficiently, but also I still want to see him keep his teammates involved and keeping them satisfied and happy, because that's the way you win games. And then you have Bam Adebayo. This is a guy that's 6'9", playing the center position, but he is so mobile and so fast, getting a career high 32 minutes per game, shooting a career high 60% from the field. He's still not a three-point threat, but he's also shooting 6.2 free throws. His free throw percentage went down, but it's still good that he's getting to the line almost double the amount, while also giving you 10 rebounds per game and a career high 4.5 assists, 1.4 block, and also a career high 1.7 steals, and also a career high 14 points per game. And I think that all those things are important because it shows you growth. This was a team that was relying on Hassan Whiteside and veterans to carry their offense and carry their defense and play a big part. But this is a guy in Bam that has improved in almost every area of his game and still sets good screens, still rolls to the basket, but also he's not scared to knock down the mid-range or take it, but he's also playing smarter in the pick and roll, making an extra pass, doing a hockey assist, or just being a great teammate and knowing what he's supposed to do in his role, but also making sure he's making the job for his teammates a lot easier, getting screens for Jimmy Butler so he can get a first step, setting up Dragic in the pick and roll to get a spot up three, or give him space to get to his floaters, or even Kendrick Nunn setting good screens for him so he can get those three-point shots to fall. This team is the perfect example of team basketball. This is how team basketball is supposed to be played. This is how it's supposed to be when you're going out there trying to compete and win as much games as you can, when you also don't have a duo of dominant players. And like I said, Jimmy Butler hasn't played like a superstar offensively so far this season, and they still haven't skipped a beat. And people forget Jimmy Butler missed the first couple games this season, and they were still closing and winning games without him. So this team don't have the biggest names. They don't have the superstar guy, but they're still finding ways to win games, grind games, and outsmart and out execute games. And at the end of the day, it's all about winning games. And this is a team that's been able to accomplish that for the last 14 games, and they've been able to do it at a high level. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys think that the Heat is one move away from being a championship team? Is they one move away from being a team that's competing in the Eastern Conference Finals, being better than the Philly, being better than Milwaukee? Or do you think that they are two pieces away for being a legitimate championship contender? Do you think this team is a championship contender as is, or is they pretenders? Do you think they're going to get home court advantage? Do you think they can keep this up? Whatever you feel about the Miami Heat, let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the views. Thanks for buying the merchandise. But also, people requested this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm gone. Full for this Bulls team, and that's one thing I love about Wendell Carter. He's selfless. He's willing to block shots. He's willing to make the extra pass. He's willing to be unselfish and really try to balance out this team. They got a lot of players that can score. They got a lot of players that can do spectacular things, but at the same time, you need those guys that's going to be willing to do the things that help you win games, whether it's rotating, rebounding, setting screens, making an extra pass, or just taking shots when they're available, or keeping the ball moving. And I think Wendell has lived up to what he is. He's a quality teammate that understands both sides of the floor, and he knows how to make his teammates better and make their job a lot easier. And if they had more Wendells on their team, or his perspective or his personality, they probably would be a better team in general. And I feel like Wendell has been a person that people have slept on. He has been a solid player this whole season, and he was beat up last year. And I think that he's one of the bright stars in the NBA right now. And I feel like he has some of the highest upside, but also they need players like him that can really encourage defense and really make a difference on that side of the court, but also trying to make them have a balanced offense. So when you look at the Bulls, it's just a combination of lack of interest, lack of discipline, lack of execution, lack of just caring defensively and really wanting to be a great defender, really wanting to defend, and that just goes with it. But it's also a lack of knowing who their guys are, who they want to get shots from, who they need to have the ball, and who can really be dependable offensively and defensively to get them to the next level. And until they figure these things out, and until they really start to play as a team and play together, but also play off each other and really find ways to make each other better, to be a better offensive and defensive team, and that causes a concern. Do they communicate enough? Do they really want it enough? And they are young, so they just lack knowing how to win, and they just haven't been able to do it consistently since they've been in Chicago. But eventually, it's either they're gonna have to figure it out, or people gonna have to be fired or traded, because this team looks like they're headed to nowhere. This team looks like they're not going to be able to do anything with this current roster, and there's no point of paying a bunch of people to play a role that never really gets you really that far or even in the playoffs. So I don't see a point of paying Lauri Markkanen, playing Wendell Carter, paying Kobe White and players like that if this team is never competitive and this team is never a playoff team. They already paid people like Zach LaVine, and he hasn't really took the next step either, and he hasn't really took his game to another level defensively. And he still have a role to play offensively. He can get better as a decision maker, as a playmaker, and as a teammate. But also, you look at this whole team, and they all are very flawed, and they just don't understand the game at the highest level, and they don't have the highest IQ besides a couple players, and even the veterans haven't played to where we thought they would. They haven't fit as well as, come into this season that a lot of people thought they was going to fit, and that's another thing that's disappointing. The veterans haven't really did their job um, as leaders, and they haven't did their job as helping these guys understand basketball and getting them to make that extra adjustment, that extra change that can really take them to the next level. And that's why the Chicago Bulls are outside of the playoffs and looking like they're going to be another lottery pick. And I really want to see what decisions they make and what direction they go in the next 2 years with the Chicago team. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.